You know, they say that America has a vigorous democratic system. We hold elections. We have a free press. We see the elected leaders go to town halls. If you want to be a president, all you have to do is have a few debates. Now, debate sounds kind of like an argument, and in theory it is one, but the presidential debates aren't really arguments. They're nothing more than a series of short speeches. The candidates prepare their little mini speeches for hours. They practice the phrases that will appeal to the largest number of viewers. And then all they do is try their hardest to avoid saying something that, they might actually believe. That's why our politics suck. When a candidate actually is videotaped saying something that he believes, whether it's a fact that nearly half the nation is dependent on federal government, or that, the government's job is to spread the wealth around a little bit, it's treated like a giant scandal. Why? Since when has honesty in our nation been a disqualification for higher office? Think of that, because that's what it is. They say something honest, and then we're like, well, he's out. And then we're surprised by the debates that we get. Each candidate, all they're trying to do tonight is try to offend the fewest number of Americans. And in the end, you never hear a candidate deviate from their talking points, do you? Is there anything new that you learn? You know what this is for? This is for the slugs that haven't gone through the drudgery for the last three years, watching these clowns on the road, watching the president and paying attention to the news. This is what tonight is. Tonight are our friends that aren't paying attention. They sat down there like, I've never seen that Mitt Romney guy before. Meanwhile, the people who actually put on the debates, the media, they don't care about the issues. They don't care about honesty either. They're either in the bag for one candidate or the other, or at best, they don't want the candidates to talk about the issues. They want to brawl. They want dramatic, unscripted moment. Quick, get him! That's what they want. It makes for great television, great ratings. But it sucks for the country, doesn't it? We don't need a kumbaya, let's all get together and get along and sing by the campfire, and gosh, you're a good-looking man and your wife has really toned arms. We don't need that. The reason we have elections is because we have to hold our political leaders accountable and then give new ideas a hearing. And if those new ideas prove to be unconvincing, well, that's why some presidents get reelected. But can't debates do more than just reinforce what we already know about the candidates? Why don't we have debates that are real debates? In a classic debate, the participants have to actually argue both sides of the same issue. Then, right before the debate, they're told, stick to this side or the other. Pro-death penalty or anti. You prepare, you have to argue either side. On Monday, you argue pro. On Tuesday, you're anti. Are you kidding me? That would be good. Wouldn't it be great? If we had the candidates, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, prepare to argue both sides of the same issue. The federal government is too big. Agree or disagree? President Obama, you now have to argue that it's too big. Let's see what you can do with that one. Governor Romney, you get to argue that it's too small. Have fun. Wouldn't that be amazing? You would know if they even understand and could articulate the other side. You'd have political leaders take positions with which they disagree, and they'd have to do their best job explaining themselves, explaining the other side. It would be revealing. For one thing, it would tell us whether or not a candidate had a brain in their head. It's easy to memorize what someone tells you to say. It's hard to make a compelling case against the things that you believe already. You have to have an imagination. You have to think quickly. You have to know the facts and understand the facts and how they can be interpreted many different ways. You have to be able to understand the other side of the argument, inside and out. And they don't. Last night I did a debate with Eliot Spitzer. Oof. And I did it because Dish put us on their network, and they have been very, very gracious to us. And they wanted to point out that Dish presents both sides of the issue. And so for the first time, I did a debate. My gosh, what an easy, unbelievable straw man this guy kept throwing up. He would say like, yeah, well, you guys just don't want any government. That's so ridiculous. It's a straw man. He couldn't have gotten away with that. I believe I could argue the other side because I understand progressives. I don't think they understand us at all. And that would be important to know. The president can't be president because he doesn't understand 50% of the nation. It takes an adult. It takes maturity. You might even learn to question those principles that you hold dear, Mr. President or Mr. Candidate. A debate like that might test our candidates on their logic and their arguing skills more than their beliefs. We don't need a debate to know what the candidates say they believe. They put their position papers out. They write their party platforms or rewrite them when it becomes politically inconvenient. Debates aren't there so people can find out what candidates believe. They're never going to tell you what they believe. They're held so we can see whether a candidate can handle the pressure, because the pressure behind this desk is intense. And somebody has to make a decision right now, Mr. President. Mr. President, right now, I need an answer. And the room waits. How does our president process? But debates now are just about theater, right? They're just about whether these candidates can think on their feet a little bit. And when I say think on the feet, can they memorize a good line without a teleprompter? Can they maneuver and outmaneuver their opponent? Can they handle criticism with grace? So why not switch roles and positions just to make things interesting, for us at home? At the very least, it would be better than what we have now. It would give us a window into the way our presidential candidates think through problems. How do they weigh evidence? How do they acknowledge, or do they acknowledge, any doubt in their own positions? Do they even understand the issues that they're talking about, and do they understand the other side? Oh, you could get some dramatic moments. I mean, what if Mitt Romney had to defend Obamacare, and if Obama had to attack it? What if the candidates were asked whether the U.S. should stay and fight in Afghanistan until the last Taliban fighter were defeated? I'm not even sure what the candidates actually believe on that issue. So, it might be good just to assign them a position. Give it a whirl, guys. We could do something even more dramatic. We could ask the candidates to edit each other's answers. Let's say President Obama is asked, what does America owe its citizens? Mr. President, and he gives the answer, and then rather than having Romney respond to his view, he has to take Obama's answer and make it more convincing. It'd be quite a test, because we would be able to tell right away whether a candidate can see the world through someone else's eyes. And isn't that a problem? Everybody's saying, oh, he can't see the world through anybody else's eyes but his. It would be an interesting test. And do they have a better vision to achieve the same goal? My point is, we need to get the candidates to address the issues and take a stand. No more splitting the middle. No more mixed signals. No more mushy focus group language. I'll tell you one thing. It would be a lot easier to decide who won the debate. We wouldn't need some clown in front of the camera like me telling us that candidate, X had a better answer on Social Security than candidate Z. You'd see right away. You'd know. You'd know. This office is occupied by people for 4 years. The issues of 2012 are not necessarily going to be the issues of 2016. My gut feeling is the world will look dramatically different by 2016. I promise you a different world. Good or bad, that'll be up to us. The economy won't be the same. The president, whoever he is, will be tested in new ways, in ways we've never even thought of. If there's one thing we know about the presidency, it's this. You cannot predict what issues the man sitting in the chair behind me will have to face in a 4-year period. But we should be able to predict how he'll face them. Today's debates don't do a very good job of helping us make that prediction. We don't get to see the guy on his feet very much. I think we could do better. Maybe. Maybe one day they'll try a new approach, but not tonight. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and may God bless the Republic. Good night.